All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for viewing the first show of the Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Ty Clark.
I'm Coach Adrian Clark of the Stick of Butters, SOBs.
And what we're going to do today is talk about this weekend's matchups. We're going to head right on in. First of all, let's talk about the matchup between the Rock Presents Dragonfly Juice versus the Syracuse Sag.
Well, Ty, let's go in and look at the Rock's game. The Rock Presents. The biggest downfall, I believe, is the running back, Steve Jackson. You know, I'm not a fan of his, and I think he is going to personally hurt that football game.
I agree with you 100%. Not only that, but Matt Ryan is not doing what everyone expected Matt Ryan to do this year. I mean, you got Pierre Garçon at receiver, Ryan Terrain running back. For the most part, they suck. But the biggest thing about this game is playoff contention. The winner of this game, for the most part, gets to claim 8th place and hopefully get to stay there until the end of the season.
Yeah, looking at the score projecting, that it should be a close game. You know, it's a game that you want to say it might be the game of the week, but looking at the two records, it can't be the game of the week.
No, not at all. I mean, you got an 8th place team and a 10th place team. Not exactly a thriller. I mean, although it's a close game, I won't be watching.
I think what will make this game is the defense for Syracuse Sag. It's the Ravens, and but what might hurt him is Brandon Marshall, who he's not a big fan down here in Miami. He's not a big player down here.
So who do you like? Who do you like in this game?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Syracuse Sag.
And I'm going to agree with you on that one. Go with Syracuse Sag. All right. Moving on to our next game. Pick 'em up, Possum versus Team Jackson.
Well, that game, you know, with the two coaches throughout the season, I mean, you know, one of the coaches you can't tell if they're playing, and the other coach, you want to ask, why are you playing?
Exactly. My biggest thing with this matchup is it's all about who was in it the last time they looked at it. For the most part, Pick 'em up Possum has a very good team. Pick 'em up Possum has Aaron Rodgers, who is the hottest thing going in fantasy football. He's got Rashad Mendenhall, who's got his legs back. Those two players alone are going to beat Dobby and Team Jackson. But what we're going to find out at the end of this is who is actually playing. Right now, they only have 6 players on both sides of the field. 6 players? Are you trying to win?
My biggest question in this game is, you know, without a doubt, I believe Pick 'em up Possum's going to pick 'em up and bust 'em. But Team Jackson, my biggest question is, why do you call them Team Jackson? Let's call it what they are. Let's call it Team Giants. I mean, come on, hey, I'm surprised Team Jackson hadn't picked up Tiki Barber yet.
So obviously, I like Pick 'em up Possum in this matchup. Our next matchup, I'm calling this the game of the week. It's the Atlanta Dirty Birds versus Biggs Bullies.
Question mark about that game. We all know around the league that I traded my running back, Frank Gore, for Drew Brees. Why would you commit to Cam Newton and not start Cam Newton this week? Instead, go with Tebow.
Exactly.
Tebow is a great athlete, great winner, but you made that commitment, and now you're going to renege on that commitment.
Well, I'm not at all surprised by the coaching decisions of K-Pax. I mean, he's been a flim-flam all year. Now, granted, he has a good team, and I think he selected an even better team. But what's keeping him from being a great team and a contender for the top spot are the coaching decisions. I mean, you've already talked about the Cam Newton decision. He's been offered numerous trades for Cam Newton or Drew Brees, and it just blows my mind exactly what it is this guy is thinking about. Love him to death. I mean, he's family. He's you know, we've tried to get him on the show a couple of times. He'll make guest appearances on the message board, but for the most part, I just don't know what to think about him as a coach.
I love him to death too, and I really appreciate Drew Brees. Now, the thing between the game that I'm worried about, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I like Biggs Bullies in this game, but he has Tony Romo Me personally, I wouldn't dare have a Dallas Cowboys player on my roster. But he has Tony Romo, who is also flim-flammy.
Right.
And so, I can't trust a quarterback of his caliber.
Well, just a quick note on Big's Bullies. I think this is a team that's built to go the distance. But on this week, I think I'm going to take the Dirty Birds.
Okay, well, something we don't agree on. That's all right.
Let's talk about the most fun game of the week. That is the North Carolina Disrespecters versus Big Game Hunters. What do you think about this one, Coach?
Well, this game, I'll tell you like this. Whatever tradition you have, the homecoming princess on that convertible Corvette, tell the band, hey, let's get ready. Let's have something special for halftime. You want to know why? Because strike up the band, boys. It's homecoming time. Hamilton has become homecoming. I would have never thought in a million years. Look, Hamilton, once they fire you, Hamilton, I just want you to know we may have a position for you. I would say defensive coordinator, but a lot of people have been putting points on it. I'll tell you what. We need a film editor. What do you think?
I mean, again, this one blows my mind. This is a guy who has been state champion, has been MVP of a state championship team, and yet can't play fantasy football. It simply blows my mind. Coach, I wish there was some type of instruction manual for this. I mean, fantasy football isn't for everybody, but there's got to be something out there to help us.
Early Christmas present for Hamilton. It's the book I live by. It's my football Bible. I don't know. He might just be trying to suck for luck.
Hey, I mean, everybody's got a race to the bottom, Last but not least, let's talk about the big game, Coach. This is one that's drawn up a lot of controversy during this week. Whether we're talking about the actual matchups, two of the top contending teams for the playoffs, or just a head-to-head lockup of brothers. We're talking about the Miami Stick of Butters versus the North Carolina Final Destination. And let's just get right into the controversy, Coach. Why the trade?
It blows my friggin' mind for him, one, to have an open roster spot where there's quarterbacks out there like Carpenter, Matt Moore, any throwaway quarterback for 1 week until Tom Brady comes back to just plug in there. Because the trade quarterbacks that he got they're throwaway quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Cobb has been on at least 3 football teams in 5 weeks. Throwaway,
Right.
And a great coach. In his interview with John Gruden, he mentioned that Tom Brady, half his team are on bye weeks. Well, a great coach would already know, or even a better coach, such as myself, would have known 3 weeks ago who you're playing and who's not playing.
Exactly.
So, and knowing Coach Fuda, or AKA the other Chandler, knowing his track history of trades, he always get the short end of the stick. Growing up, he traded some Timbs with the leathers on the back for some Timbs without the leather on the back. With the wood grain sole for the bubblegum sole. How does that even sound? Bubblegum. You know what I'm saying? You're a grown man here. You're wearing shoes with bubblegum mentioned in them. So, we chalk it up as a win. Easy win.
Are we not in the middle of the season where there's a bunch of bye weeks? Shouldn't you know who it is that you're playing? So, Coach, I'm just going to ask you straight up. Who do you like in this game?
Come on, man. I'm going to tell you like this. SOB, stick of butter all the way, baby. And coming from the horse's mouth, I got North Carolina Final Destination. I got it right here.
And, well, I can tell you this, Coach. I think the final destination may not be the playoffs. Well, folks, thank you for watching another episode of the Coach's Corner. Again, this is Ty Clark signing off from North Carolina.
Coach Clark down in South Miami. Here's my tackling Fuda, and we're out.